In ancient Egyptian history, there was a pharaoh whose 67-year reign surpassed all others. Today, he is known as Ramesses the Great, or Ramesses II. But to his people, he was King Usermaatre, which means Ra's justice is mighty. He built many monuments to celebrate his glorious military achievements as a warrior, and he even founded a city named after himself. He was also the mastermind behind the peace treaty with the Hittites, and he became the Egyptian king with the most children in history. Ramesses II excelled in every aspect and forged a legendary legacy. He cast a long shadow over pharaohs before and after him, making them pale in comparison. Today, let us explore the story of Ramesses the Great and the dynasty he built. The ancestors of Ramesses the Great were not of royal blood and did not hold court or temple positions. Their rise to the throne began during the reign of Akhenaten. Akhenaten abandoned the traditional gods and chose to worship only the Aten. This seemed to provoke the wrath of the gods. His son, Tutankhamun, failed to continue the royal bloodline. After Tutankhamun's death, his elderly vizier Ai ascended the throne. But Ai ruled for only 4 years and left no heir. Horemheb then became the figure at this turning point in history. He witnessed the end of a dynasty and also founded the 19th Dynasty. During the reigns of Tutankhamun and his father, Horemheb served as commander of the army. He was a general and vizier. Soon after, he became an indispensable figure in saving the kingdom. Horemheb's tomb in Saqqara reflects his status before becoming king. The rights and prestige Horemheb held as commander of the army are depicted in murals inside his tomb. These murals show him bringing back Nubian prisoners from war. Nubia was a vital source of gold and an important hub for trade resources. Reasserting control over Nubia was one of his key military duties, a mission he was compelled to fulfill. Another relief sculpture shows Horemheb being awarded supreme honors, his chest adorned with rows of solid gold necklaces. This was the king's highest reward, granted only to the most loyal and outstanding officials and administrators. When Pharaoh A died without leaving an heir, Horemheb became the only figure capable of restoring order to a kingdom plagued by chaos. He was the man chosen for the task. From historical records, we see that Horemheb was highly pragmatic. He laid out clear plans of action and carried them out methodically. In the great temple of Amun at Karnak, the 10th pylon still stands. After becoming king, he issued a decree to combat corruption and societal ills. This decree was inscribed on a stone stele and placed beside the pylon. Here, Horemheb asserted his authority, proving his legitimacy as king. He declared himself the pharaoh of justice and order. He issued a series of laws with clearly defined punishments and moved the capital to Memphis. This new ruler surrounded himself with loyal allies and advisors who had no ties to the previous dynasty. Among them was one of his most trusted counselors, Paramessu, the grandfather of the future Ramesses the Great. Paramessu came from Egypt's elite military and chariot corps. His family was not of low status, but they were not nobility either. He was born in the eastern Nile Delta. Paramessu was born in Avaris, a region highly distinctive for its blend of many cultures and ethnic groups. Horemheb and Paramessu once fought side by side, and Horemheb granted him many highly important titles, such as commander of the fortress of Sile. He also entrusted him with the role of priest of all the gods of Upper and Lower Egypt. This was truly remarkable, for it gave Paramessu military, religious, and administrative authority all at once. Eventually, Horemheb appointed Paramessu as vizier, the highest-ranking position in the kingdom below the pharaoh himself. In the 13th year of Horemheb's reign, his queen Mutnodjmet became pregnant.
Paramessu.
Horemheb was filled with hope, praying she would give birth to a healthy son. He longed to continue his bloodline, for he knew that without an heir, all his efforts would be in vain. He would have no way to pass on the throne or establish a new royal dynasty. But things did not turn out as Horemheb and his queen had hoped.
Hope left.
After he became king, the tomb originally built for his priest-musician was used to bury his wife. In 1975, archaeologists discovered a female mummy at this site. An inscription clearly identified her as Mutnodjmet. When examining her mummy, tiny fetal bones were found inside, confirming that she had died while pregnant. In that moment, Horemheb's hopes for an heir were completely crushed. It was a personal tragedy for him, and a national disaster for the kingdom. He had to rely on another wife to bear him a son, but his wish would never come true. With no heir to succeed him, Horemheb was forced to make a major decision. He needed to appoint someone as his heir to the throne. The successor had to be a man of prestige and vision, someone who could ensure continuity. For this reason, he chose Paramessu. One reason behind this choice was that Paramessu already had a son who could carry on the royal lineage, thus resolving the issue of dynastic succession. That son was Seti, a career military officer. Seti and his wife Tuya had a child who would one day become Ramesses the Great. His Egyptian name was also Paramessu, meaning born of Ra, or life from Ra, a name that honored his grandfather. Before Horemheb, almost every pharaoh of Egypt claimed divine selection and direct inheritance from their fathers. But Horemheb and Paramessu rose to power without noble bloodlines, traditionally tied to Egypt's past rulers. For this new dynasty, it was crucial to create a fresh royal image and restore order to Egypt. Horemheb ruled for about 20 years, striving to bring peace and prosperity back to the kingdom. After his death, Egypt welcomed a new ruling family who bore the responsibility of founding a lasting dynasty. When Paramessu became king, he adopted the royal name Pharaoh Menpater, meaning eternal is the strength of Ra. Today, he is more widely known as Ramesses I. Thus began a new royal bloodline in Egypt. Ramesses then granted his son Seti the title of Semsu, meaning eldest son of the king, officially confirming him as prince and heir. But Ramesses I ruled for only 2 years. Already advanced in age when he took the throne, he was depicted. Although Ramesses I ruled for only 2 years, he was often depicted with a rather youthful appearance. He did not want to reveal the physical changes brought on by age. With King Ramesses I, then Seti, and later Ramesses II, these 3 rulers together would dominate Egypt for the next 100 years. Ramesses began his education in the royal court school known as the Cap. Sons of Egyptian nobles and foreign princes studied there, and all royal offspring were trained in its halls. Students practiced writing on broken pottery shards or stone, cheap materials that were readily available. But Ramesses was no ordinary student. He practiced writing on fine papyrus scrolls, far more luxurious than the common tools of learning.
Ramesses is no ordinary
In addition
student.
to education, his family's long military tradition demanded that he master the arts of war. He learned to drive chariots, shoot arrows, and wield weapons with skill. Ramesses I had hoped to restore Egypt's former military glory, but his advanced age cut his reign short, and he passed away before those plans could be realized. Thus, Seti ascended the throne as Pharaoh Seti I, while the young Ramesses was named crown prince.